Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live demo today. We're so excited to have everyone be joining us today. We're going to be diving into the new features we built for our Sales Path platform. Tools designed to help you spot performance gaps, boost conversions, and ultimately improve your driver results. So I'm Sarah Breff, the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Rinse, and I'm excited to be joined by Kyle Doyle, the VP here at Rinse. Kyle, how's it going?
Good, Sarah. How are you?
Doing well.
Good.
We'd love to know who's with us, so feel free to drop your name and wash in the chat so we can see so everyone can see who's joining. We'll give a little bit of time for people to hop on before diving in. We got Steve from Breeze Through, welcome, and Charlie from Mr. Sparkle Auto Spa. Great to have you. George, Car Wash Express, and Clay, Time to Shine. So many more that are coming through too. Love to see it. Thank you all for joining us. We'll go ahead and start talking through our agenda a little bit. For our agenda, Kyle will be kicking things off first by sharing why we built these features and how they can help kind of foster a sales-driven culture at your wash and really improve coaching habits for your team. Then Kyle will walk through a demo of the platform to show exactly how these tools work inside SalesPath. And then finally, I'll come back on stage with Jeff Otano, who is our engineering manager for SalesPath, and the three of us will answer any questions. So while Kyle is presenting and talking, feel free to pop your questions into the Q&A chat. So if you're on a desktop, it will be to the right of your screen. And if you're on mobile, it'll be directly below this video. And we will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. Looks like a few more joined us, just great to see. And with that, Kyle, I'll just hand things over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So yeah, I wanted to talk about first, AI gets a lot of play, obviously, in the news, but it could be this kind of gimmicky kind of thing. But this application is really where AI shines. But really, we want to talk first about why. The why here is we need to coach. Coaching is so important to high performing sales teams. And we're really using AI as a lever there to amplify all of that coaching that's being done. So I want to walk you through just briefly the kind of why behind this. So let me share some slides here, how it's uncovering the performance gap. So let me ask you a question. If you had one wish as it related to sales operations at your washes, what would it be? One wish, if you could rub the belly of the genie, no, or the lamp. I don't know if you rub the lamp or the belly of the genie, depends on the genie. But if you had one wish, what would it be? And I think the one wish I would make is make salespeople give the script every time to every customer. I think if you did that, you would see about a 35 to 40% conversion rate. We see the highest performing teams that are really intense. We see them hit 30 regularly. But I think even there, they're struggling with getting salespeople to give the presentation every single time. And so that's really the name of the game. That's the hard part, is getting sales teams to just give the presentation every single time. And so the point is this: everything we do must be in service of giving consistent on-script presentations. That's where the impact of the business comes from. But the question, obviously, is how do you do that? That's the hard part, as we said. But remember, we want to keep that in mind, that our ultimate goal here is to get sales teams giving on-script presentations every time. That's where we're headed towards. But how do we do it? So we call it the three core behaviors in SalesPath. It's the things that we've identified in working with well over 400 locations, over 3 million sales presentations coming in and being analyzed by SalesPath. We're looking at, like, why are the high performing teams the high performing ones, and why are some others struggling with conversion rate? And really it boils down to these three behaviors. You have the presentation, that's the obvious one. But the second one is regular site manager coaching. This is one that the high performers intuitively get, But some of us can struggle with, well, how do I get my site managers to coach? What's the path there? How do I even know that they're doing it? And then the third behavior we see is really synonymous with high performance is this weekly sales meeting or having a piece of sales meeting in your general meeting with site managers. At enterprise, that's often a district manager meeting with the site managers. But out of these three behaviors, today, we're not going to get into all of them. We really want to key in on this regular site manager coaching. And so that's really where AI shines. Site manager coaching, if you think about all of the audio files that we have in SalesPath or even our clients have with their site managers, it's still a lot of files to sift through, to go through. How do I know which ones are really indicative of that salesperson? Is this a one-off? Was this a one-off really good, one-off really bad? What's their average presentation like? And that's really where AI really, really helps us to save time. So I'm going to share. We can now play a video. Let me tee this video up. So in SalesPath, we're currently looking at every presentation with our rubric. So this rubric is the recipe we use to analyze every audio presentation that we have. So we have about a dozen elements, and we're not going to get into why or how we build a script. And there's nothing earth-shattering in how we do it, but we're looking at the greeting. We're looking at whether they explain the value of the menu packages. We explain whether they validate the customer's choice, whether they mention the membership, things like that, fairly typical things. So there's 12 by default that we analyze. We also give you the ability to add custom elements. So if you want to say, hey, we're running a promotion in September, I want to grade whether sales teams and locations are actually doing this. So you can add custom elements. Maybe there's something unique in your presentation you want to know if salespeople are doing. You can do that. So let's look at a walkthrough video from Jeff Otano, our lead engineer, senior engineer on the SalesPath team, and him and the team have done an amazing job of building this out. So let's watch him walk through really briefly, and then I'll talk a little bit to it.
This is our AI rubric configuration. This defines every element that our AI will analyze on each session. So as you can see here, we have a set of default elements. If we dig into one like choice validation, we ask the question, did the salesperson positively reinforce the customer's choice and connect it to benefits? This is then graded by our AI on a score of 0 to 3, with 0 being that they did not acknowledge or validate the customer choice, and 3 being high validation and reinforcement of their choice. You can also define custom elements. So here you can see the September promotion mention. We can dig in and see that this is asking the question, did the salesperson mention the September promotion during the interaction? This is graded on a 0 or 1 basis, meaning is this true or false? Did they mention the promotion or did they not mention the promotion?
Okay, so you could see there that it's a fairly straightforward. These are the stock elements. And again, we've done a lot of research. We're seeing correlation between many of these elements and conversion rate. We recognize that conversion rate is an output. The input is the presentation. Just like we said, if we give really good presentations to every car, we win. We know we do well. So the AI is trying to see what is good about these presentations or how our sales team is actually performing. So now let's look at what that applied to a single presentation would look like. So let's go back to the video.
You can then view each presentation score on an individual basis. So this session is one session that is being graded on each default element. You can see here for this example, the salesperson received a 0 out of 3 on choice validation, 2 out of 3 on closing next steps, a 3 out of 3 on encouraged to cancel, and so on. This will also define any custom elements that you put in here. You'll be able to see on an individual presentation basis how the salesperson was scored.
Okay, so that basically is showing you how it would apply to a single presentation. So you can click that, you can listen to that piece of audio, but if for the sales manager or the site manager, anyone who's curious, you can listen to that and then see what AI thought about it. And so that's an individual presentation. So now let's see how this all rolls up, how you now can see averages at locations and individual sales team members.
We can also take a holistic view of all of the AI grading over a certain period of time. So here we're looking at the last week across all locations. You can see each location's average AI grade compared to their conversion rate, as well as a breakdown of each salesperson. So if we dig in, you can see the averages of each score type across this set of data. Also, you can see any alerts that we may have defined. So for example, we do not want our salespeople to encourage the customers to cancel. So you'll see their average score here for that field.
Okay, so you could see how now this is really where the power of that data is, of AI crunching all of that audio and then summarizing it into a letter grade. So we try to keep this holistic. We're not looking for perfection. We just want to know, how do I save time as a site manager or a sales manager? How do I direct my attention to where it needs to be? Who's struggling? Where should the coaching really be given? And then specifically, it's now showing each salesperson, okay, this person, I really need to work with them because they're not mentioning the membership offer. This other person, they're fine with offering the membership, but they all just say to people when they pull up, what do you want? Now I need you to explain our menu and the benefits of each wash package. So it really allows you to now tailor the coaching without listening to hundreds and hundreds of audio files, to just save time and direct it to coaching that's actually going to have an impact. So now let's look at what it looks like from the salesperson's point of view, because what we're doing is every Monday, the AI goes in, analyzes that salesperson's entire week of activity, and then says, okay, what do we think they're scoring the lowest on, and what are they scoring the highest on? We will commend them on what they're doing well, and then we'll take the thing that they have an opportunity to work on, and we'll say, hey, this is the thing we want you to work on this week. That will also be visible to site managers so that you can see what each salesperson is being asked to work on by the AI coaching. And so let's see what that looks like from the salesperson's vantage point.
As a salesperson, every week you will be given a specific focus area based on your last week's worth of presentations. So CoachBot will give you feedback and tell you what you can work on exactly for that given week. So in this example, Isabel here is being told that she can work on her menu explanation. Our AI coach will give you an example of what you've spoken about, as well as an audio presentation that the salesperson can listen to that directly addresses this feedback.
So again, leveraging that AI to amplify the coaching. So now AI is telling that salesperson, hey, here's what you need to work on. And here's a sample you can listen to of one of your presentations where you kind of struggled with this. Again, we can customize this even on that rubric. If you want to simplify it, we have some clients that are saying, hey, we have this script we really believe in. We just want the AI to tell us, are people doing it? Are they actually giving it? How close are they giving it? So you could go script adherence as a custom element. But really, this is just the tip of the iceberg for us. We're building out a coaching dashboard for the site manager, training on exactly how they go about coaching in the first place. Again, it goes back to what really drives impact is giving a presentation, the site manager coaching, and then holding that weekly meeting to kind of keep people accountable and focus on goals and performance. So that's how AI kind of fits into SalesPath today. So I'd like to invite Jeff back to the screen, as well as Sarah now.
Hey, Kyle, thanks for going through all of that. Great stuff. And we're here with Jeff, as Kyle explained. I saw a couple questions, or at least one question come through. If you all have any other questions, feel free to add them to the Q&A chat. One thing I will call out is that if these features are of interest to you, or if you would like to learn more about them, feel free to select the Get a Demo button at the top of the screen, and someone from our team will reach out to you. So let's dive into these questions. First, George had asked, is the AI actually listening to every conversation, or is it only looking for keywords? And how is the AI doing this without going too technical, please? I feel that one, George.
Yeah, Jeff, you want to take that one for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So Every presentation has its segment of audio. It can be anywhere from 20 seconds to a couple minutes. We pass that audio file directly to AI for analysis. So we don't do any kind of transcription layer between the audio itself and the AI so that the AI can understand tone and pitch and a lot of the emotion that comes behind the voice as well. So I think that kind of hits on the second question there too.
Yeah, just be careful, Jeff. We might have competitors on this call, and we don't want to give away the secret sauce.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's exactly right. So AI is listening to every presentation that comes through the system, and then outputting. And we're using the most modern models, and then it's outputting all of this great data. It might take a few minutes, depending on the queue of when AI gets. So as soon as that salesperson is given the presentation, might take a few minutes, but usually it's not more than that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, Jeff, you answered both of George's questions, so that was great. I will also call out that if you're a current SalesPath customer and you would like to use these features, please reach out to your CSM, and they will enable them for you. And especially within those custom rubric capabilities, so that you can be able to start customizing what the AI can look at. We want to make sure that you're able to utilize that feature since it is so beneficial.
Yeah, and maybe Jeff, tell them about how you can even AI can help you create an element, even if you're not sure like exactly what the prompt should be.
Absolutely. Yeah. In that rubric configuration that I showed on the first portion, there's a button that you can simply AI generate a rubric element. So you can pose a question, I want to see if my salespeople are doing this specific thing. And the AI will help you create what the 0 to 3 score looks like. So what is good in this scenario, or what is bad? What are we looking for? Or is this a true or false kind of statement that we want to answer from our salespeople? So at a very easy prompt, you tell the AI, hey, this is what I'm looking for to learn from my sales conversations, and it will generate a rubric element that can then be measured over time.
So we are using AI to figure out the AI.
Exactly.
Scary.
I will add too on the topic of audio. We seem to get this question a lot. Does our AI understand Spanish or other languages? And it does. It will interpret it and output its response and coaching in English as well. So you can have a Spanish conversation and it will coach back in English.
That's great. Thanks for calling that out, Jeff. Bill asked to just go into further what the definition of rubric is, or how you guys have defined that.
Yeah, because it's Bill, I'll answer it. Bill, hi. Yeah, so it's basically the recipe. It's the recipe for like, what are we actually going to grade this? So there's 12 elements of the rubric of the recipe that we're using. So for every single audio file, you can go into one of report, and there's a column for each element of the rubric. So those dozen elements, let's say greeting, for every location, you're going to see their letter grade or how the location is doing with their greeting. Same thing with, for example, explaining the value of the wash packages. So the rubric is really the recipe for how we're going to grade every single presentation.
Great, thanks, Kyle. And Chase says, posed the question, does the AI score our pitch and the package descriptions if we train our team on a specific package description that we want to have our graders say? I see it scores the pitch, but can we add other things that it can also score and evaluate?
Yeah, so it's almost like a script adherence custom one. Jeff, tell them about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have customers doing this today, essentially. So you can define a new element and describe exactly the packages that you want your salespeople to explain. And it will then, as the AI analyzes that, it will look for those keywords in order to grade how well they explained each package that you have defined.
Yeah, so Chase, if you put in, hey, we really want people explaining our top package this way and our middle package this way, if you put that in, then we will score. By default, we won't. It'll look at the general concept of did they explain value, but if you want to get specific, you could just add that as a prompt, and then it will actually, and it also is smart enough to know, well, they sort of did because here's what they said. In fact, if you click into an individual presentation, it will say they sort of did this, and then they quote the person, but they didn't really do that. So remember that modern AI is not just looking for strings of words. It's way, way smarter than that. So it'll even give comments on the individual presentations. Like, it seems like they tried, but they struggled over here. It really is as if you have this coaching assistant who's actually like, hey, yeah, I listened to this clip and here's what's going on with it, I think. And so it's really, really smart to be able to, it does do a pretty good job at sentiment. So it can detect some friendliness. I don't know that it's perfect today, the AI models, but it's getting better and better at like warmth, friendliness, things like that are not just words, but a sentiment.
Great. Thanks, Kyle. Excellent question came through. How does an existing sales path customer know if AI is enabled from the dashboard or settings?
So if you look at any of your dashboards, there's going to be a column for the AI score grade. If you see that, it's there. There's another thing we could also turn on to give you access to the custom, your own ability to create custom elements. Otherwise, we can do it for you. But I would reach out to your CS. But if you see the column there in any of the leaderboards, both salesperson and in location, then it is enabled.
Thank you, Kyle. I really love this question coming in from George. As a manager, how do I use the grading smartly? Is it just telling me the grade and I have to go back and listen to that salesperson's conversations?
Great question. So, George, we're being more and more prescriptive on how to kind of create a behavior that the sales manager, at the site manager, will do that will lead to impact. So here's how the ideal scenario that we train on is that once a week, the site manager will go to their weekly guided coaching. This is a new tool. What it'll do is it'll show you a list of every salesperson that site manager has had work at the location in the last week. Now you see all of their stats, you see the AI scores and the grades and all of that data from AI, as well as all their presentations that you can listen to personally. And then you send them a message. What's happening, and then when you hit save and next, it goes to the next salesperson. We train the sales team to run through that once a week. It shouldn't take more than 15 to 30 minutes max. But what's happening is we are now measuring whether the site manager is sending messages and listening to audio files. So as an owner or as a district manager, you could see, okay, which site managers are actually listening to audio and which are sending messages, and how many messages are they sending? So when a site manager looks at that AI data, in any audio file, there's a little chat box, and you can send a message to the salesperson. It will appear in the tablet in their chat, and it'll also attach the audio file you're talking about. So if you said, hey, I was looking through the AI scores, you're really doing well with this, keep up the good work on explaining the value, send. When the salesperson sees it, it's going to see that message, but also have the audio file you were listening to attached so that they can kind of, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I keep forgetting to say that. So that's the main behavior we would like the site manager. We're also building a site manager coaching dashboard, which will, again, the AI is going to begin to curate which audio files we think the site manager should listen to first. Hey, I would listen to this because there's some room for improvement here. Hey, I would listen to this because they crushed it and you should compliment them. Hey, this is an alert. It looks like they encourage the person to cancel after the promo ends, and you should listen to this. So again, we're continuing to leverage the AI to make coaching quicker, easier for that site manager, because we know they're very, very busy.
Yeah, I just echo that sentiment. I've visited a lot of sites and know how much those site managers do, which is great to have these tools in place to be able to minimize the time that takes. And I think it also goes back to the videos that we showed with the holistic view and dashboards that are in place that can kind of give more insight as well. Chase has a follow-up question to what you were saying, Kyle. Is it possible to use AI to grade the site managers reviewing notes and they're listening to the presentation at their location?
Yes, that is in the roadmap. It's not there today, Chase, but yes, the point or our objective is to use AI all the way up to the owner so that, hey, this is the snapshot of what's going on and where we think the opportunities are and where you might want to pay attention to. So we had that for the presentation. We've added that now for the site manager. We're going to continue to add that up we're trying to create this culture of accountability. And so, yes, that is coming.
Great. Another question came through on just asking for more visibility on any salesperson training for owners and operators to deliver to management.
That's a great question. We are working on training content currently. We've built in the ability, it's not live yet, but when a new user logs into SalesPath, they will automatically see some training. And that could be one video, a 30-second, 60-second, 2-minute video, and then they get enrolled into a course. So that could be a site manager. It will know what role they're in. So site manager will go through some training on a lot of what we've talked about today. And then you'll be able to see whether that training is being accomplished. It's like a very mini lightweight LMS within SalesPath, just so that we can track it and then compare or connect that training with conversion rate and see which training drives conversion rate up the most. So again, continuing to evolve that kind of workflow and behavior. Yes,
definitely. And we appreciate the feedback there on those improvements, and just know that they are already on the roadmap and being worked on. So we appreciate that. Well, thank you all for all those great questions. We love sharing these new tools, and we hope that they'll really be beneficial to you all as you implement them and help in that time saving and just being more efficient within the coaching that is taking place within your washes. As I said before, if you have any further questions or would like more information, feel free to press the Get a Demo button at the top of your screen, and someone from our team will reach out for a personalized outreach and more explanation within these features in general. But thank you all for joining us today. We loved having you, and we hope that was beneficial. Thanks all.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Jeff.